Hi, this is Chris Sawyer. Welcome to Taste Live. Right now we're laying a little bit incognito because we're busy tasting some fabulous wines from Vouvray. Right now we're in San Francisco at the fabulous fashion center here. And it's me and Pamela Busch. Pamela, hello there.
Cheers.
We are busy tasting these wines today because we've had a little bit of media, press, and some sommeliers here tasting them with us. So we've got a lot to share. We've got a 5-part series that we're going to be running through. For those of you that don't know much about the Vouvray region, from Paris, this is about southwest of Paris, about halfway between Paris and the ocean, which is the Atlantic Ocean. It's right there in the Loire Valley, a little bit east of the city of Tours. The area is very well known for its castles, churches, troglodyte caves where Parisian people come to stay in the summertime, but it's also very well known for Chenin Blanc. Chenin Blanc is the main white grape grown in this area. It's a fantastic area to not only make still wines, sweet wines, and demi-sec wines, but also to make sparkling wines. So right now, we're going to taste through this fabulous wine. So this is the Cuvée T. This is from Vincent and Tanya Karaman. And without further ado, Pamela, you're an expert in wine. Tell a little bit about yourself to everyone and your passion for Vouvray.
Well, my passion for Vouvray is an easy one. I went there several years ago and had loved Vouvray before, but I just met such wonderful people and really had just gained such a admiration for what a lot of these folks have been doing. Vouvray has become more popular in the last few years, especially sort of in the wine geekdom community, but for years there have been producers there like Huet, Vouvray, who have just been making these world-class wines. And only a very small percentage of people who consider themselves wine connoisseurs even know about it. So I've always had a predilection toward Vouvray. I also love white wines that are minerally and high acid and floral. So in that sense, this is the wine I might bring to my desert island.
Yeah.
But as far as just my background, I've been the wine writer for the San Francisco Examiner since 2005. Oh. But I have done a lot over my 20-year career in the wine bar world. I opened up Haze and Vine in 1994, and then Cave Wine Bar and Kitchen in 2005. And I've also taught and done a few other things along the way.
She's also been to Vouvray, and so have I. I'm Chris Sawyer, the Sommelier to the Stars, wine writer, wine judge, and lover of Vouvray. So the style of Vouvray is very unique because the terroir is so interesting and intriguing. It's more limestone-based soils, and there's some silex too, which is a combination of clay, limestone, and silica, which is little crystals, kind of sandy soil with crystals. It's a very important area, and this is the epicenter of Chenin Blanc, not only for France, but for the world. It's where all of us sommeliers and wine buyers and wine writers that really know great white wines, it's where we really want to go and hang out, and especially with amazing winemakers like Vincent Karam. Sorry.
That's okay. I think it's Karam. I'm sure someone out there.
It sounds so Frenchy, though. Vincent Karam.
Vincent.
Vincent. This is a fantastic wine. The wines that we're going to be tasting in this 5-part series are all available in the United States. That's why we kind of hog these to ourselves to really talk about on live line right now. Let's taste through. I hope all of you have picked up your glasses as well. Just the style of sparkling wine in this area. There's a few different styles. You want to talk about that?
The most common style that you find is pétillant, which is it's a very light, delicate mousse. But this is actually not one. It's a brut. It's also a little bit different because most pétillants are very dry. And even though this is brut, there is a little bit of residual sugar. It's not, I wouldn't say dessert wine or even demi-sec, but you can pick it up a little bit. On the other hand, it has such great acidity that the combination of the residual sugar, the minerality, and the acidity gives it this wonderful zestiness.
Yep. Right now, we've got a little comment coming in about the huge aromas of the grapefruit that are really popping out of here. I get that right off the bat, too. There's some really pretty white flowers, almost like spring flowers. They just like put them in your hands, rub them together. Really beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it's subtle. I mean, that's what's nice about it. But yes, there's that grapefruit, and I get other citrus as well, and the floral components. But it's not like it's hitting you over the head. No, you know, they're just sort of gently making themselves known on the palate, and that's the beauty of Vouvray, is that there are these subtleties. Yeah,
what's making you investigate? That's why we brought the sunglasses too.
I brought them because I'm a rock star.
That's right. Yeah. And rock stars do drink.
You're the
Vouvray.
celebrity till the sommelier.
Yeah.
I get to be.
Yeah. So we've got a little comment here about the 2009 Vouvray. Definitely a bit of sweetness, but nicely balanced from Travel Eat Love MM. So really nice comment. Yeah, it's got some sweetness on it. There's no doubt about that. But it's got acid. It's tangy. It's got a little bit of zest there. It turns itself around really easily in the mouth and kind of, you know, touches all angles of the mouth. This is a great food pairing wine. You know, this would be great with cheeses, but
completely.
You know,
but oysters too.
Oysters, exactly.
Yeah, I could see, especially having it with the Kumamoto's, which is it's a creamier oyster, as opposed to doing like a very briny. Actually, maybe a briny oyster would work. Yep. We'll just have to go and have some oysters after this and find out.
I'm in. Count me in for that.
Okay. But one thing also about Carême is that he's been around since, and he and his wife have been around since 1999, but they're still a pretty young producer. I'm not sure how old he is, but he definitely looks younger than I am, so for whatever that means. But he's one of the leaders in the natural wine world in Vouvray. You know, not to say that he was the first one doing it, but he's definitely like grabbed onto it and has become a very enthusiastic supporter of using natural yeast, doing manual harvest, and all of his estate vineyards are organic, as we were discussing before. But with this particular wine, he buys the fruit, so it's not necessarily organic. But in terms of what he does in the winery, he's completely following organic and natural methods. Yeah, well,
Vincent's very well known too, also for his family grew grapes, but he didn't start this winery until 1999. But he also traveled around the world, South Africa, and different locations where he learned a lot of the skills of winemaking. He came back, got his hands on amazing fruit sources, and this is where he's gone. This is an amazing style of wine. This is really available in the United States, and that's why it's a really fun one to be pouring right here. What are your impressions of this wine, just overall?
I think it's delightful. What's the retail on this offhand?
I think it's about $20, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, for $20, it's like, especially with the holidays coming up. It's perfect. It's a perfect aperitif. Again, having it with cheeses, oysters, raw bar shrimp cocktail, you can't go wrong with it.
No. Mussels come to mind too. Interesting broth with that, and a little curry in this could go really well together. There's a lot of unique things, and I think as we explore a lot of these wines from Vouvray, you find out that it's not just comfort foods that we're talking about. We're talking about really kinds of extreme compare contrast kinds of flavors that these can really match up nicely with.
You know what I'm thinking? Caviar, because of the slight saltiness in caviar. And that this has a little residual sugar. That could be really good too. Like caviar on an oyster? Oh yeah, we're getting decadent here.
Yeah, S.L. Hossman is saying Cuvée T is fizzing with Asian pear and butterscotch, but short-lived to him.
Okay. Well, I know everybody experiences wine differently. Even if you think you're experiencing it the exact same way, there's still going to be a slight difference, and that's what's cool about it. I'm not experiencing that, but that's perfectly valid. Yeah.
Fabo C girls, lots of citrus, green apple, aromatics on this Cuvée T.
I'm with her.
Green apple is a pretty common characteristic, and I get it here too, absolutely. But it does have a citrusy note to it. It's really pretty in the mouth, though. I mean, I just like the mouthfeel. It's aromatic. It's very typical of great Vouvrays, and especially the sparkling wines. There's also kind of lighter styles, effervescent styles that are made there, but they're usually They're not only that. I mean, there's a lot of still wines as well. And you can make sparkling wines just about any year. It's really the higher-end dessert wines and demi-secs that you have to wait till the best vintages come along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. And occasionally, when you do see them, they often tend to be expensive, but they can be quite good. Yeah. On the other hand, though, just getting back to this and other pétillants and other sparkling wines from Vouvray, just looking at it from a price ratio, price-quality ratio, there's so much that you can get. Again, you need to go with a good producer like Carême, Huet, Fourreau, but champagne is fantastic, but for less than half the money, you can get wine like this, especially if you have a quantity, which I often do. Not me, myself, but with my friends.
Yeah.
Drink, so.
I could just sit here and smell this for a long time, but I think we've really done a great job with this.
Yeah.
This is a fabulous style of wine. Keep this in mind. I think a lot of you guys out there have the 2010 vintage. I think that's what we've got here too.
It is 2010.
Yeah, you wanted to make sure about that out there. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this wine. We've really got some nice feedback so far. We've got more parts to the series. And we'll be the first to say, the two of us, that you can't get enough Vouvray. So please keep checking this out. On behalf of Pamela, myself, and the rest of the Taste Live team, we'd like to thank you for being part of this. And to find out more about not only this wine, but all the other great producers of the region, please check out LoireValleyWines.com. And we'll be doing that as well. But in the meantime, we've got more duties to do as far as tasting these wines. Cheers.
Salut.